Some Americans are skipping meals, selling possessions, and going further into debt to pay bills. Hi, it's Edward, back with another video. Please take a moment to click the thumbs up button below and consider subscribing to the channel. Please also share this video with your friends. Thank you for your support. Today, I read several financial news articles. I've included links to the articles in the description below. I encourage you to read the articles to support the authors and news sources. As a private American citizen, I'd like to report and share my transformative thoughts through commentary regarding small sections of these articles that are of public interest. Today, I read an article on foxbusiness.com written by Breck Dumas titled, "Majority of Americans Made Sacrifices to Cover Monthly Bills Last Year." The author of this article referenced a new study released by Assurance IQ that found 66% of U.S. adults confirmed in a December survey that they had to make sacrifices to pay their expenses during the previous 12 months, and they broke down the various tactics they used. This study revealed 41% of Americans earning $75,000 or more per year covered their bills by borrowing money or using credit cards. 47% of Americans earning less than $75,000 per year had to borrow to cover their expenses. Now here is something interesting. The study revealed the second most common way Americans handled a situation where they were short on funds last year. Drum roll, please. Are you ready? The second most common way Americans handled a situation where they were short on funds last year was to pay the bill late. Let me ask you a question. If our economy is booming and the American consumer is so strong, why are we hearing about this? I think this is a story about the haves and the have-nots here in America. Those who own assets are continuing to get wealthier, and those who don't are struggling to survive, as their wages are not keeping pace with inflation in many cases. This study revealed 34% of Americans pulled from their emergency savings to pay their bills, and 24% skipped meals to cover their bills. 23% of Americans sold possessions. 23% overdrew their bank accounts. 21% negotiated payment terms, and 9% decreased insurance coverage. Well, my friends, this data is disturbing to me. This really provides us with some insight into the general financial health of some Americans. Please understand, I'm not criticizing people who are doing these things. My heart goes out to them. Life in this new economic reality in America is often not easy for people. Many are working hard and doing their best, but it's not enough. Now, please keep in mind, this study only had a sample size of 5,000 people. If these results are truly representative of the general financial health of most Americans, I think there could be some storm clouds brewing in the future. But what do I know? I'm just some guy on YouTube. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. I read another interesting article today. This one was on foxbusiness.com, written by Megan Henney, titled, "Layoffs Surged in February to Highest Level Since 2009. According to the author, the pace of job cuts by U.S. employers accelerated in February, a sign the labor market is starting to deteriorate in the face of ongoing inflation and high interest rates. This is according to a report published Thursday by Challenger, Gray, and Christmas, which found that companies planned 84,638 job cuts in February, a 3% increase from the previous month, and a 9% jump from the same time last year. It marked the highest layoff total for the month of February in data going back to 2009. Well, my friends, this is not good news, but I am not surprised. Each week, I read about more layoffs from major companies in the news. Every time I read these stories, I wonder how many layoffs are happening from small companies that we are not hearing about. What's frightening to me is that the author referenced 2009. This was during the great financial crisis. Those were some dark times. Anytime someone compares current data to that period of history, alarm bells start going off in my mind. Now, some of you might be wondering where some of these job losses are coming from. The author indicates technology companies shed 28,218 jobs since the start of 2024, and financial firms shed 26,856 jobs, which is a 54% increase from the same period last year. Now here is something disturbing. Industrial goods manufacturing companies slashed 7,806 jobs, which is a 1,754% increase from last year, and energy companies announced 1,059% more cuts than during the same period in 2023. My heart goes out to all of these people who are losing their jobs. I hope they have a well-funded emergency account to rely on until they secure new employment. I hope they have been keeping their skill set up to date so they can be one of the best applicants when they are out there looking for new jobs. What worries me is we are hearing about all of these layoffs during a period when the economy is supposedly doing well. What in the world might we be reading about if and when we see a major correction in the stock market or the housing market? A lot of people have grown comfortable during the past decade and a half during a period of cheap and easy money. I think people need to consider the possibility that the good times may not continue forever. I worry about people who are levered up and living paycheck to paycheck. When the paychecks stop coming in, life gets real. Depending on the industry, some people who get laid off may have a hard time finding a new job that pays as well as the one they had previously. A friend of mine hangs out with a guy at the bar who is in this very situation. He has a brand new, fully loaded Ram pickup truck which he bought when he was making approximately $150,000 per year in the manufacturing industry. He got laid off quite some time ago, and every job offer he has gotten recently is paying close to half that much. He is refusing to take a job paying half of what he was making before, yet he is depressed that he has to adjust his standard of living in the interim. He's been struggling to pay his bills, including that fancy truck payment. He's one of these guys who has always lived large, even though he's been living paycheck to paycheck. He has no college degree and he's pushing 60 years old, and reality has not set in yet that some of these manufacturing companies may want to recruit younger professionals for less money. Right now, he is tapping his retirement to pay his bills. The reality is, he may never find another job in his specialty that pays close to what he was making before. At the moment, he believes the next great opportunity is just around the corner. His optimism may fade at some point, I'm afraid. I'm curious if you know anyone in a similar situation. If so, tell me about it in the comment section below. If you don't, you may know someone in this situation in the near future, depending on what happens with our economy. I read another interesting article today on Yahoo Finance, put out by Benzinga and written by Janine Mancini, titled, "Dave Ramsey Reveals People Aren't as Well Off as You Think. 8 out of 10 people probably can't afford the home they're living in and the car they're driving." The author of this article referenced a video where Dave Ramsey shared a statistic and some other very interesting information. I'll share the quote with you. 78% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. Basically, that means almost 8 out of 10 people probably can't afford the home they're living in and the car they're driving. They might not even have the cash to cover the next emergency that pops up. Your income is your most important wealth-building tool, and when your money is tied up in monthly payments, you're working hard to make everyone else rich. Well, my friends, I agree 100% with what Dave Ramsey is saying here if we are talking about monthly payments for depreciating liabilities like a vehicle or for plastic junk ordered online. On the flip side, you can use debt to build wealth. For example, if you buy a rental property with a monthly payment of $3,000 and you are able to rent that property out for $5,500 per month, which is enough to cover the property taxes, insurance, maintenance, advertising, and management costs, you are using debt to build equity, generate positive cash flow, and hopefully benefit from real estate appreciation over the long term. In this example, those monthly payments are a good thing. Unfortunately, this is not what many Americans do. Many lever up to buy their dream home where they have to pay for the property taxes, insurance, and maintenance along with the principal and interest on the loan. Sure, they will build equity and over the long run possibly benefit from real estate appreciation, but they may be tapped out to live in that dream home and now they don't have the disposable income that they can use to invest for the future in rental properties, a business, or in equities. Far too many people want that dream home fully furnished with expensive new furniture and 2 new cars parked in the garage. You can do that, and poof, you now are heavily indebted and living paycheck to paycheck and making financial institutions more money. You also have less money, or in some cases, no money to invest to get out of the rat race and become financially secure and financially independent. Understand, this is just my opinion, but I think about things a little differently than most people do. I read some of the comments beneath this article, and I found some of them to be very interesting. One commenter who used to work in the mortgage industry said, "I can't begin to tell you how many doctors, lawyers, and local celebrities I've worked on mortgages for, and you'd be surprised at how many six-figure people live paycheck to paycheck and are leveraged up to their eyeballs. I laughed when I saw their bank balance was smaller than mine, a lowly paper pusher at the time. It's all smoke and mirrors." The next commenter said, "The rule is real simple. If you're having to borrow for it, you are living beyond your means. I bought a new truck and couldn't believe how many of my friends asked what my payments were. I quit making car payments when I turned 30. After that, if I couldn't pay cash, I didn't get a new car." Here's another good comment. "I bought a beat-up Toyota 10 years ago for $400. Aggressively put all the money saved from not buying a $40,000 car into S&P 500 and NASDAQ 100, canceled cable and several other frivolous things, and invested it all. It helped that the market was going up most of that time. Sitting now on $800,000 in investment accounts. Some taxable, some not. Kudos to me." Well, my friends, I'm sure this guy is happy he lived beneath his means to help establish some financial footing for the future. What do you think about all this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Please keep in mind that everything in this video is for entertainment purposes only, and nothing in this video is financial advice or advice of any kind. If you need advice, seek advice from a qualified professional in good standing who puts your interests first and foremost. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. Please also consider sharing this video with your friends. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. Check out some of the great books that I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.